Yes, good afternoon, everyone. In the previous class, we have been discussed regarding the different techniques and tools that are utilized in operational research methodologies. Under that, we have discussed this linear programming, queuing theory, sequencing, transportation problems, integer problems, assignment problems, decision theory and game theory, replacement problems, symbolic logic, etc. in the yesterday's class, and these and all are the implementation techniques that are utilized in our operational research indeed to solve different kinds of problems. So those are very difficult oriented problems. In that, in the today's class, we would like to deal with the perspective of this linear programming and how this linear programming initiates, how does the calculations are being done for the solvation of a problem, identification of errors existing within the problem definition, how they have to be overcome, and upon the solving of problem, the unknowns are being existing and how those unknowns need to be identified with respect to the mathematical relations we'll be discussing in the today's class. So linear programming. So linear programming is a mathematical model that is depending upon the conditions need to be applied for solving a typical kind of problems. So what are the conditions that are being existing? We will be seeing. One second. I think some of the persons. So here the parameters include here are all the variables are continuing or not. Continuing in the sense or continuous in the sense it can take either we can take the fractional values or not while solving the problem in the mathematical relations. So hence all the variables can be continued for solving the problem. This is a basic condition. Second one, it is an single objective in a single strategy, either in maximizing the relation or else indeed minimizing the relation. A single objective need to be taken into the force for solving the problem. So in the question itself, there is no doubt in the question itself, it will be clearly specifying that the maximization related problem or minimization related problem. In the question itself, it will be clearly defined. That need to be identified upon reading the problem. That is the major intentionality. And that objective need to be identified. And here moves to the third constraint. The objective and constraints are linear. So with respect to the objectives, number of by changing the constraints, the objective need to be varied linearly. So how many types of constraints are existing? That will be depending upon the objective orientation of the problem that is will be appear to us when we have taken into the consideration for solving. So is an any constants need to be applied or constants need to be multiplied. For example, we will be having that one red orange will be equal to the two green oranges. That is nothing but upon squeezing, we have to able to understand that upon squeezing that particular red orange, we have obtained one glass of juice, and hence the same glass of juice or quantity of juice will be obtained as per this another color, that is for example yellow color or orange color. We need to put up a two different oranges. So upon squeezing of two different oranges, we will be obtaining one glass quantity of juice. But either in the red orange, we will be having only one orange. If you have been pick up only one orange, we will be getting the full quantity of one glass of juice. So that is the constants need to be applied at the rate of multiplication factor as per the question it specifies. So next, linear programmings are important. Why it is being important? We'll be seeing here. Many of the practical problems can be formulated as linear programming by taking the binomial equations or polynomial equations, that is x1 ax1 plus bx2 plus cx3 is equal to some k constant equating to it, and certain constants. So this x1 x2 x3 are nothing but the unknowns. So that has been clearly specified here, unknowns. So by taking the polynomial equations, constants are also need to be specified. Here replace the constants. So constants in the sense, a need to be replaced with respect to a particular constant value, b need to be replaced with respect to another particular value, c need to be replaced with another value, or else the common terminology in this polynomial equation is nothing but the x, x1 x2 x3, or else simply x, ax plus b x square plus c x cube. In such a way, x is the common terminology in this polynomial equation, and hence it is crystal clear that constants are varying. A different value, b different value, c different value. So when you have been considered that, it is very much easy for solving the practical kind of problems by considering in the case of this linear programming format. And it is also very much important that an algorithm is being existing for it, for its solvation, because algorithm consists of a two flow charts. That is, if the given condition has been satisfied, it will be proceeding towards the next step of commencement for the simplification factor in the solvation of problem. If it has been not at all satisfied the condition at the flowchart level, it will be again fed back to the original position, that where the constraint need to be changed in the problem. So here there exists an algorithm that is also called as a simplex algorithm, and this is also used to solve these flowcharts we will be seeing in our next classes also in different example formats. And these are the polynomial equations, which consists of different constraints and a constant values, that is similar constant values. If the similar constant values has been given to us, different constraints will be existing simultaneously. If different constraints has been given, similar constants will be existing for a problem need to be identified. So these also, in these kind of situations, linear programming plays a major important role indeed to solve those complex problems in very simple formats by utilizing the different algorithm basis. Next, this linear programming has been subclassified into four different parameters. So indeed, to solve in the linear programming format, or by utilizing this linear programming tool or technique, we should be able to follow four different basic assumptions. So assumptions are nothing but, by looking at the problem, we need to capture a particular values, and assumptionary values need to be noted. So in that, four different basic assumptions plays a major important role in the case of linear programming particularly. First one, it is proportionality. So proportionality is not a specified value. It will be varying in between a one number to another number. For example, proportional, and within, we all aware of that within a balls containing of different colors, how many number of in a container there are 10 balls, and there exists a one red ball. So out of the 10 ball there is a proportionality that one ball is red color. And even we have solved different kinds of problems also in the mathematics subject. So hence here the proportionality specifies that upon indeed to generate the result, the decision variable is very much preciable. And for indeed to analyze the decisionary variable, we need to generate the objective function initially. So without any specific objective, we could not able to assume any of the property that is being specified in the linear programming, and decision variable cannot be identified. So hence there is an interrelated with respect to these two functionalities, that is objective functionalities and decision variables. Hence there is a relation here that the contribution to the objective function from each decision variable is proportional to the value of the decision variable. So directly it is proportional to the value of the variable, because upon the functional generation, the decision variable generates a polynomial equation which leads to apply the constant values and a constraint value, and that constraint will be assumed, and that constraint can be obtained as an decision variable that can be identified. So hence proportionality is one of the assumptionary concept in the case of linear programming. Let us consider a simple example here. The contribution to the objective function from making four soldiers. So soldiers in the sense here nothing but toys, and soldier toys is exactly four times the contribution to the objective function from making one soldier. So here that contribution in the sense in any of the manner, whether it can be considered in the economical factor, nothing but cost that has been spent for manufacturing one soldier toy, or else the time that has been allocated for manufacturing of this soldier. So hence there is a clear-cut definition that 4 into 3 is equal to 12, and it is exactly four times, nothing but three different soldiers need to be obtained by spending four different times of contribution objective function. So objective function is clearly specifies that four times to the existing time need to be spent for the manufacturing of the three different soldier toys. And here is the equation that 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So the contribution of each decision variable to the left hand side is very much proportional to the decision variable, and it clearly specifies in the proportionality, that is the decision variable is, or the objective function from the decision variable is proportional to the value of the decision. So it is proportional indeed to obtain the result as an 12 in the LHS side. The proportionality variation is nothing but making one soldier toy is 3, and hence 4 times, and it's clearly specifies that 4 times 4 is the decision or objective functionality. LHS side is considered as an objective functionality. Indeed, to generate the objective functionality, decision variable is necessary. Variable is nothing but the three constraints, and this constraint will be leading to generate a value, right? One second. uh, Here there are some of the charts. Yeah, Venkat is chatting that he could be not able to listen. Okay, check out with your connection, man. Remaining candidates are very much familiar with the conversation. Re-enter, or else the re-enter to the ID once again, right? And moving on to the next assumptionary factor in the linear programming, additivity. So additivity here, it's additivity also involves the objective function for any decision variable. Not only a manufacturing of these toys, in any of the considerations or situations in the industrial fields, manufacturing considerations, if you have been taken that one, or else in the any kind of shops, how many types of objects that we have been sold to a single customer, or n number of articles that we have been sold to a different kinds of people or customers who are being arrived to our shop. So in any of the constraints, this linear programming plays a major role. So second one, it is additivity. In this additivity also, objective function for any decision variable is independent. It is not dependent. And previously, we are aware of this proportionality is directly uh, relates with respect to the objective function and the decision variable. But here, this objective function for any decision variable is independent to the value. So independent, there is nothing but it is not depending upon the decision variables, and the results may be varied than the previous value obtained if we have been calculated furtherly, right? Here there is an example how it will be getting varied. So variation also implies with two different implications. So that is specifying here. First implication, the value of objective function is the sum of contributions from decision variables. So decision variables will obtain a decision value based upon the objective function. That is the first implication. And second one, it is left hand side of each constraint is the sum of the contributions from each decision variable. So here we are already discussed previously that, for example, a polynomial equation has been considered ax plus bx square plus cx cube. So x is the common terminology here. So hence the decision variable, when you have been considered here as a decision variable x, the constraints such as the objective functionality z is equal to this polynomial equation ax plus bx square plus cx cube, that a comma b comma c values, a comma b comma c values need to be identified. So these will be analyzed in two different implications. First, objective function with respect to the summation of contribution or with respect to two different variables. That is first implication. Second one, it is an constraint, sum of the contributions from different decision variables, and each and every variable will be getting counted here. So that is an additivity. So different in the sense almost additions need to be made. And moving on to the third parameter in linear programming, that is divisibility. So the decision variable is allowed to assume the fractional values also. So this is a third assumption need to be taking place in the case of linear programming. So if we actually cannot produce a fractional numbers or decision variables, we can use this input also. That is float values. Float values are also acceptable. Float values are nothing but pointal obtaining results 1.69, 1.25, 1.35, like that, or else 5.63, like that, right? So that is the divisibility need to be analyzed as a third assumption. Moving on to the fourth assumption, that is certainty. So each and every parameter will be having a clear cut objective. So hence certainty need to be analyzed initially. So these are the four different assumptions need to be carried on this linear programming technique while we are utilizing this technique to solve any kind of problems. So we shall recall it once again. First one, it is in proportionality, additivity, divisibility, and certainty. Let us consider with respect to a simple example here, formulation of linear programming. And if you have the textbook, in the Winston textbook 3.1, page number 49, this problem is clear-cutly visible there. We'll be calling as a standard example series, that is Geppetto example. Let us discuss with this one example. Geppetto wooden soldiers and trains. Nothing but it's a manufacturer and a manufacturer. So Geppetto wooden soldiers and trains. Nothing but by utilizing the wood materials, we need to manufacture different soldier toys and train toys. So these are the two different alignments. Soldiers equal to 1 and trains equal to 1. So Geppetto is, let us assume that an company name, and he is to manufacture the soldiers and trains, and with the material called wood material, right? Each soldier sells for $27, right? And uses $10 of raw materials and takes $14 of labor and overhead costs. Nothing but for manufacturing, the amount spent on labor for shaping to a particular soldier final output shape, and purchasing of raw material for shaping by the labor involves here 10 plus 14, and it clearly specifies that the input cost for manufacturing of this soldier takes a 10 plus 14, that is $24, but it has been sold out. Each and every soldier is sold with $27, and the mean difference here it is $3. That can be considered as an profit. So highlight it once. Next, moving on to the second model, that is trains. That is, each train sells for $21, and for the manufacturing of these, each and every train uses $9 for raw material purchasing and takes $10 of overhead cost. Nothing but shaping, that the work need to be done by a labor indeed to obtain a finished stage. So hence, upon addition of these 9 plus 10 raw material plus work charges by the labor, that is 19, and it has been sold out for $21. The mean difference here it is $2. Then that can be considered as a profit. So for the first toy preparation, that is soldiers, there is a mean variation, that is $3 as profit, and second one it is in for trains manufacturing, that is we are having $2 as a profit. But what is the time bound? Here we have been discussed that there is an proportionality. Four different linear programming techniques we have been discussed. First one it is an proportionality. Second one it is additivity. Third one it is divisibility, and next one it is certainty. So certainty here clearly certaining that the toy has been sold out for $27. That is soldier toy, and the trains toy is sold out within $21, and certainty has been specified. So we have to apply these four different techniques here, that is proportionality, additivity, divisibility, and certainty. So certainty is very much clear that for how much cost the toy has been sold out. Next one, there are two different constraints here, that is labor charge and next raw material charge, and another one more output consideration, that how much time it has been taken by the worker to finish that particular product, that we will be moving on furtherly. So each soldier needs 2 hours finishing and 1 hour carpentry. So carpentry work, nothing but we'll be obtaining wood as an logs, and that log need to be converted as an input material, and that input material need to be done on by different processes by the labor, and need to be obtained a finished shape. So for that, the soldier needs 2 hours finishing, 1 hour carpentry. So that is 2 plus 1, 3 hours at two stages. two stages and two workers has done that particular work to manufacture a single soldier toy. And each train needs 1 hour finishing and 1 hour carpentry. So overall work is considered as 2 hours, but at two different stages, 1 hour at one stage for finishing and 1 hour for carpentry, it has been spent out. So for soldiers, 3 hours, and next for trains, 2 hours. So raw materials are unlimited. So there is a constraint here and condition here. Listen clearly. Raw materials are unlimited, but only 100 hours of finishing and 80 hours of carpentry are available. So here the equation values has been given. So equation values in the sense equating with respect to the 100 hours for finishing entire this soldiers plus trains. So let us consider soldiers as x1, trains as x2, right? Here it specifies x1 as soldiers and x2 as trains. And we'll be reading the question completely and having the time for finishing this overall manufacturing of soldiers as 100 hours, sorry, work that has been distributed in two different ways, that is soldier carpentry work and as well as finishing work. So 100 hours for finishing and 80 hours for carpentry. So RH said value has been given, and demand for trains is unlimited, and there is no any constraint for demands, constraint for train manufacturing. But at most 40 soldiers can be sold per each week. So there is a constraint here. So how many number of soldiers need to be manufactured? Either it may be unlimited or only the 40 need to be manufactured. There is no any clarity till now. So how many of the each toy should be make each week to maximize the profits? So here the constraint has been given with respect to the profit. So upon we are having the clear cut idea that upon manufacturing these soldier toys, we are having $3 of profit. So simultaneously, if we are manufacturing these trains, we are having only $2 of profit. But the time consuming for manufacturing of the soldiers is 3 hours. Finishing work plus carpentry work entirely it is 3 hours. Simultaneously, in the case of these trains, we are having 2 hours of time, 1 hour for finishing and 1 hour for carpentry. So here we'll be applying these variables. So decision variables. It completely describes here Glypetto. X1 is considered as an soldiers, X2 is considered as an trains produced per week. Right? So what is the major objective? The function of decision variables, we're also aware of this, that the decision maker wants to maximize the profit. So that is the query has been given to us. And as per the Glypetto, upon the concentration and maximizing, we have a formula for equating this Z as an constraint, nothing but maximum profit gain, that is Z equal to, here profit equals to the weekly revenues minus the raw materials cost and other variables. Just we have been calculated initially, that is 27 rupees the sold cost of soldier, and manufacturing cost it is 10 plus and 14, so hence 24. So the mean difference it is $3 of profit. So hence maximization Z is equal to 3 of first variable has nothing but x1, that is soldiers, plus 2 into, that is 2 profit of the trains, that is second constraint. So here the constraints limited to a strategy. What are these we will be looking after? So how many constraints are existing? So here Glypetto could make a large profit by choosing decision variables to be a very large. So here there are the three different constraints. First one, finishing time per week, how much time it will be existing, and carpentry time per week, how much time for both soldiers as well as the trains. For soldiers, how much carpentry time will be taken, and for trains manufacturing, how many hours of time per week it will be taking, has to be analyzed. And weekly demand. So we are always clear that it is very much clear that trains doesn't have any limitation on the demand. So that is nothing but trains are regularly should be manufactured, and we are having unlimited of raw material also. It is also clearly specifies in the given problem. Let us review the problem once here. That is, raw materials are unlimited, right? But only the manufacturing timings has been occurring. So demand for trains is unlimited. See, raw materials are unlimited and demand for trains is also unlimited. But soldiers, there is limited only up to 40. And we have to take a clear cut vision that weekly demand for the soldiers. So for soldiers, we are having only the 40 demand. And for trains, there is no any particular droppage, or almost we are having continuous demand for the trains production. Next one, it is indeed to attain the profit, we have to get the values upon additions or summation or simplification factors only in the positive considerations. So positive considerations in the sense negative value should not be obtained to us, because we are always clear that indeed to manufacture a single soldier, 10 rupees of raw material plus 14 dollars, so $14 of labor charge is taking place. So 24 only it is being occurring. So but the object is being sold out for 27. So indeed to calculate the difference, we are getting $3 as a profit. So hence there is no any negative signs. So here sign restrictions are plays a major role for generation of mathematical relations. So we will be taking a clear cut variables here, linear programming variable. So maximization of z equal to profitization of x1, nothing but the manufacturing of soldiers, to the profitization with respect to a second constraint, that is trains. And this is considered as an basic objective. And for finishing constraints, it is limited or clear cutly specifies that within 100 hours finishing of both these soldiers and the trains manufacturing finishing takes 100 hours. So hence 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 100. And next, for carpentry constraints, for both it is being taking that 80 80 hours of time. It clearly specifies. But we are having the demand or constraint on soldiers. So soldiers, we are having only the demand, that is 40. 40 need to be manufactured, not more than that. And hence, so x1 and x2 is not equal to 0. Sign constraints if you have been taken. So it should be in positive only and greater than 0. So x1 and x2 is greater than 0 in the sense more than 1 and even the above. So the values here x1, x2 are that it satisfies all the constraints and sign restrictions also, as per the 4 different parameters we have been discussed in the today's class. That is proportionality limit, proportionality, additivity, next divisibility, and certainty. And obviously, graphical and computational solution leads to the x1 and x2 criteria as 100 minus 80, that is equal to the x1 criteria of 20, and 100 constrained demand of finished constraint to the constrained demand, that is 100 minus 40 is equal to 60. And at which upon summation of these both the values of the prospected value in the sense how many number of working hours are being taken. So how many number of working hours are existing in day? For carpentry, it is 80, and for finishing, it is 100. So how much overall time for manufacturing of both these soldiers and trains has been taken? 100 plus 80, that is 180. That is the basic optimal solution need to be analyzed. So here, at each and every stage, the objective function need to be specified, and constraints which has been specified in the question need to be identified, that is finishing constraint. So only, and even this finishing constraint also need to be not only finishing constraint, manufacturing constraints. So manufacturing constraints here it will be coming for both these strategies, finishing as well as carpentry, because these two time factors related to manufacturing only, but different works. That is, one is finishing work and one is carpentry work. So 100 plus 80. So overall work that has been followed as per the time bound has been considered is nothing but 180. So we'll be having a clear cut discussion regarding it. The report here specifies that a maximum profit of $180 will be obtained by making only 20 soldiers and 60 trains for each and every week. And next one, it is the limited factors upon both the available working methodologies, that is carpentry working and finishing. So here the profit is very much limited, because by the working schedule we are having limited profit only. So profit could be increased by increasing the labor force, nothing but if the force has been increased, nothing but workers has been increased, simultaneously number of articles can be manufactured. And those articles are nothing but here the soldiers and train toys that are being manufactured, toys and bommalu, those are being manufactured in high number of quantity. So if the quantity has been increased, sales also will be increased, nothing but depending upon the demand that is being existing in the market. And depending upon that, profit also will be very much high. And that is the overall optimal analyzation records based upon the given problem by the application of this linear programming, right? So here the three different parameters plays a major role in the given constraints, that is report framing. Overall maximum profit is $180, but it is limited to manufacture only 20 soldiers and 60 tons, because in the question it is clearly specifying that only for a week analyze the overall manufacturing aspects in the case of both soldiers and trains. And that too another constraint has been given, that only 100 hours for finishing and 80 hours for carpenter need to be analyzed. So hence, indeed, to increase the work efficiency, labor should be increased. That is the optimal solution need to be given. Okay, thank you. And we will be discussing regarding the new techniques, another techniques existing in the OR operational research in the further classes.